Welcome to YellBro Road. I am Jordan, and today Donald Trump is claiming to make peace in the whole Middle East. He says he has some sort of ceasefire being planned out for Gaza, although it seems kind of one way. I mean, yeah, there's people fighting back over there, but it seems pretty one-sided and a lot of civilians being killed. So it's ceasefire might be the wrong word to use for this. But anyways, it's the idea is a peace deal, right? So let's give it a look with some extra context, and also we might look at for some more stuff in regards to the Iran-Israel-U.S. conflict. But first, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them, then donate. Thank you. All right. So here we have Donald Trump. Yeah, I think he did some deal today, right, with Congo and Rwanda. So, all right. Okay. Although, forgive me for being cynical about this, but part of me is guessing that this is all more PR stuff instead of like an actual grounded things being stopped, problems being solved. Just more of narrative. Maybe just like he really wants a Nobel Peace Prize, or maybe even that's a diversion for all I know. Point is, he gets no credit from me at all until he calls out his own criminal actions. Once he does that, oh, good shit, man, good job. Obviously, point out others as well, right? Other people's criminal actions, but he should point out his own as well, right? That should happen. If you don't know about any of his criminal actions in regards to it, just him as president, not his past business deals or avoiding taxes or any of that shit. Just him as president. There's a laundry list of criminal activity that I think most Americans would not like if they actually knew about it, but they don't because they don't. Hopium? I think hopium's the right word. But either way, let's focus more on this peace deal in for Gaza because they're suffering over there, right? And Trump's aware of that. And let's you know what, take it away, Donald. Here he goes, tiny Donnie Tiny Hands. Here we go. And that is almost like muted. What the fuck? Did my volume all the way down? I did. My fault, guys. Turn that back. Let me turn that bitch back up. All right, here we go again.
uh, often asked, and I think it's
That
true,
audio is horrendous.
with some of the people involved. It's a terrible situation that's going Gaza. He's asking about, and we think within the next week we're going to get a ceasefire, and we're supplying, as you know, a lot of money and a lot of food to that area because we have to. I mean, yeah.
So if you can't hear the audio quality on this video, I should have checked that. Kind of dog shit. But he's saying within
captions.
They don't have them here. There's no captions.
Okay.
But he's basically saying within a week, like if we have something maybe ready to go within a week, as far as a ceasefire or a peace deal, and the people they're not getting food over there, or it's hard to get food over there, and people are living in a bad situation, and Trump cares so dearly that he waited till now to really get into it. First, he had to take care of Iran's nuclear program, right? First, do that. Then we can start helping Gazans. Although, he has made mention to them throughout his presidency, so of this term, and they weren't very nice sounding. It sounded more like oh, beautiful beachfront property, and we can relocate them to Libya, already a country in a civil war that the U.S. already played a large role in destabilizing already, and let's send them to a fucking war zone. Why not? He's once again just showering of glorified comments and gestures towards Netanyahu, the guy who's willy nilly committing these war crimes, overfunding them to deal with Gaza, right? With not just money but with weaponry, obviously. A whole bunch of.
I'm saying
What?
saying Netanyahu should be pardoned for all his crimes of basically being corrupt.
Well, yeah, that's of recent, but he's not going to call what's happening over there a crime. He's probably talking more about the financial corruption stuff, right? The taking money, bribes, and all that shit that is pretty well documented now with Netanyahu, right? But he's not going to call the blatant Holocaust happening over there. He's not going to call that a war crime. He just won't. He'll just say it's Hamas's fault because that's what he does. I mean, people can say, "Oh, he's just really loyal to Israel." I call him a devil worshiper. You know, potato for me. But yeah, that's the gist of what he just said in that 13-second, or sorry, like 20-second span. But I'll play more, and once again, the audio sucks, so forgive me. If we're quiet, I'm sure people can hear him. But I'll kind of reiterate what he says anyways, just to help out a bit. So, here we go. Shut up, Dubster. Shut up. Shut up. All right, here we go.
Within the next,
You too,
Have you
Anthony.
done your
Shut your
job,
fucking mouth,
Mr.
Anthony.
Martin?
Shut up, Anthony. Shut up. Stop talking, Anthony. You're gonna ruin the clip. Anyways, here we go.
next week, we're going to get.
What's Elon Musk doing right now?
Bro.
And we're supplying, as you know, a lot of money and a lot of food to that area because we have to. I mean, you have to.
So he's saying we're right now we're already supplying a lot of money and a lot of food to the area, and don't worry, we have a follow-up story for that. But here we go.
In theory, not involved in it, but we're involved because people are dying.
In theory, we're not involved in it, but we're involved in it because people are dying. So he's saying his conscience and his heart is involved, but you know, in reality, he's not really involved. Meanwhile, it's like, don't you supply them with weaponry? Didn't Israel break a ceasefire on your watch and you did nothing about it except applaud them? Didn't you use Palestine as a political football for your trip to the Middle East and then come back and do nothing about it? Meanwhile, like all the crimes in the world are happening over there. Don't worry, the next story you're about to hear after this, like you probably hear me getting pissed off because the next story we go over after this, that this guy knows about, he has to know about it, right? Either he's an idiot and he's incompetent, he doesn't know what's going on over there, thus get him the fuck out, or he's complicit in it, a part of it, get him the fuck out. That should have already been the case. But dumb fucks got tricked by Iran, you dummies. You got psychologically diverted. You dummies. Good luck to you. Good luck. Good luck in life. I mean, I think we need to hire old ladies to help them cross streets. These fucking dummies out here. Anyways, here we go.
And I look at those crowds of people that have no food, no anything, and you know we're the ones that are getting it there.
Damn, it's weird. Every time he says something that sounds like something that people might like, he adds a self compliment to it. Now, I consider that just a part of the character he plays, right? And meanwhile, like he could be like just a extreme narcissist like that. He could be, right, where he has to make everything about him, where he maybe starts wars in order to end them and say like, I want my Peace Prize now. Where's my Nobel Peace Prize? Possibly, I leave room for that. But it's like, who knows? It could be a character, it could be narcissism, but like he just does that all the time, right? He adds a compliment to himself, which is like, you've been around real men before, right? Like real motherfuckers before. No one fucking does that, except for the fucking loser dweeb motherfuckers that desperately need attention, or they're faking, which might be worse. That might be worse than a narcissist. Is someone faking being a narcissist for the sake of some other
Why do you always speak in
agenda?
third person?
Nice try. Anyways,
No, that's what it is. That's what it is he speaks in third person.
he says, "Oh, they need food over there. Don't worry, we're getting over there. That's what we're
Trump
doing.
provided it.
We're doing that. No one else would. We're doing it." It's like, but it's bizarre, and it's like I have to assume this guy has a micro-sized penis with that much compensation. I have to assume that, right? Anyways, There we go.
Some of it's being taken by some bad people, you know, once you give it and you give it out, and it's supposed to be taking care of the people, and they end up stealing the food and selling it. But
Oh yeah. So he does know about. Okay. He knows about the thing that was exposed by, I believe, Israeli newspapers, where the Israeli government was funding groups within Gaza to steal the food, like loot it and steal it. These some sort of like counter to Hamas guys that are armed and paid for by the Israeli government. Interesting. That's an interesting statement. But don't worry, we'll go over that another day. Although you can look it up now. Right? You can look it up in your own free time. I'll save that for another day. Right now, let's focus on. What's that?
What are they called if you're telling us to look it up?
Jesus Christ, some fucking name. Some fucking Arab name I don't fucking know right now.
Oh,
I'll find it and link it in the description box. Right now, I'm focused on this. Trump, in regards to once again, pay attention to the thing about the idea of like dishing food out, right? Forget about the people looting or whatever the fuck. Cause there's probably regular people looting too, right? Just people that are thieves and shit like that, and or they're more selfish about something, or they're more desperate, or whatever the fuck. Or whatever groups that are in there that are funded by Israel doing things, and Israel funded by the U.S., yada, yada, yada. Let's push that aside. Let's say about the groups that Trump, it's like, oh yeah, we got Americans over there, you know, feeding the people. They need food. And when they don't get food, it's not our fault. It's someone else's. Just let's stay in that realm. But let's keep going. Here we go.
we have a pretty good system now, but so we're helping with that. You see the lines of people that just get one meal essentially, but
Really?
it's too bad other countries aren't helping out. Nobody's helping out. We're doing that because I think we have to on a humanitarian basis. Like this, we didn't have to get involved in Africa, but we did because we thought it was. I mean, I've been reading, like JD said, he's, from much of his life, he's been just seeing this about this brutal war. And
Okay, let's keep moving. Because, to be honest, Trump has, during his first term, and probably this term too, but definitely during his first term, he sent troops into Africa that have been killed and have killed others. So let's be real. He's also part of the conflict there as well. His administration, at the very least, right? Once again, I understand Obama, I understand Biden, I understand Bush, I understand Clinton. I understand all these other administrations. But right now we're focused on this guy. Because people are being full-blown tricked by a devil worshiper. But not good enough. He's kind of a pussy. He can't, yeah. You don't get too high of a ranking. You're a little bitch like this. But anyways, let's focus on Gaza and the whole food distribution thing. Let's focus on that. Here we have from Haaretz, an Israeli newspaper. It's a killing field. IDF soldiers ordered to shoot at unarmed Gazans waiting for humanitarian aid. Now, I'm going to tell you now that I'm going to link the tweet and everything, but if you don't have an account with them or you don't feel like buying an account, it's behind a paywall, the article. I will have this here for you, which is the archived version, the non-paywalled version. You can read it yourself. And I don't know if I'm reading all of this, but at the very least, you'll have the article for yourself. Okay, as you can see the title again, it's a killing field from Haaretz. IDF soldiers ordered to shoot deliberately at unarmed Gazans waiting for humanitarian aid. Man, why are people starving out? How come this food distribution is not working so efficiently, guys? I wonder. Apparently, Trump knows exactly where the supreme leader of Iran's sleeping at in his hidden bunker, but doesn't know this is happening at the same time. He doesn't know that somehow. Crazy, huh? Anyways, IDF officers and soldiers told Haaretz they were ordered to fire at unarmed crowds near food distribution sites in Gaza even when no threat was present. Hundreds of Palestinians have been killed, prompting the military prosecution to call for a review into possible war crimes. So this also adds to, for everyone saying, "Oh, Israeli, they're evil." Like, sometimes people see enough horrendous shit to where something happens psychologically or in their hearts or in their conscience. It's like, fuck, I can't just sit by. I'm gonna risk getting in trouble by saying something. The real savage would be like, my name is this. This is what I saw. Go ahead and arrest me for revealing that you guys kill innocent people. Willy-nilly, by the way. Unarmed people seeking food. And this has been mentioned videos ago on this channel and way before that by other channels. Where it's like, oh, the plan is to push them to concentrate them, like a concentration camp, concentrate them in the areas, and just shooting fish in a barrel at that point. Because the point is either extermination or exile. Sorry. This fuckface knows that. I think he's well aware of that. He's been saying he wants exile. It's like, I don't want to see all that killing. Just get him out of here already. Finish the job, BB. Finish the job. Anyone who supported that idea, like he was saying this during the campaign trail. So if you caught wind of that, if you heard about this, and you still voted for this fucking guy, congratulations. Congratulations. I don't want to see, I don't want to see your face. I don't want to hear your name. I don't want to hear your fucking voice in 30 years from now saying, oh, damn, I fucked up. Like Dave Smith did. I don't want to fucking hear you. Just quietly work on yourself and then come back to us. Go away, work on yourself, then come back to us. Please. Because it's right there in front of you. Anyways, let's read into this article. Israeli soldiers in Gaza told Haaretz that the army has deliberately fired at Palestinians near aid distribution sites over the past month. Conversations with officers and soldiers revealed that commanders ordered troops to shoot at crowds to drive them away or disperse them, even though it was clear they posed no threat. That should be damning enough, but let's keep reading. One soldier described the situation as a total breakdown of the Israeli Defense Forces' ethical codes in Gaza. According to the Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza, 549 people have been killed near aid centers and in areas where residents were waiting for UN food trucks since May 27th. Over 4,000 have been wounded, but the exact number of those killed or injured by IDF fire remains unclear. Now, this is just them being shot at in these areas. This is not counting the bombings that are happening in some of these tent cities, or people that have to sleep in schools or hospitals or whatever the fuck that are getting bombed. You know, because Hamas is everywhere. Just gotta blow them up. These are just the shootings. And you could maybe understand why some of the soldiers are like, yo, what the fuck are we doing? Because it's right in their face. It's not a drone strike from a mile away where they're on a computer screen bombing something, or they're shooting missiles from some undisclosed location into another area, not really seeing the direct damage. And I'm sure the images that we see on Twitter is hidden from those motherfuckers. Let's be honest. But when you're there in person, and you're... What did they say they were? They say like they're like 100 yards away or something like that. I don't know if I got to that part yet. I didn't get that part yet. They're close enough to see bodies drop when they shoot their guns at people. Where it's like, it isn't a Joffrey scenario. Close your eyes, pull the trigger, and the crossbow. Was that line Marjorie says to him? Doesn't it feel so powerful to squeeze the trigger here and watch them die way over there? It's more of like them actually in their face seeing the carnage and violence being created of unarmed people. You see some other, actually, ironically enough, once again, Haaretz probably leans left-leaning, I guess, in Israel. So they might have more, probably actually, they'll probably have a different count than even for people that want to say, like, oh my God, Hamas run health ministry in Gaza? It's a lie then. Actually, Haaretz count is higher than the health ministry's count as far as total dead. Health ministry is like 50 to 60,000 people. These guys are saying minimum 100,000. Because once again, they're not counting bodies that are covered in rubble, underneath buildings, died from some direct way, or indirect way, if you will. Anyways, let's keep reading this article. Haaretz has learned that the military advocate general has instructed the IDF General Staff's fact-finding assessment mechanism, a body tasked with reviewing incidents involving potential violations of the laws of war, to investigate suspected war crimes at these sites. The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, GHF, aid centers began operating in the Strip at the end of May. The circumstances of the foundation's establishment and its funding are murky. It is known to have been set up by Israel in coordination with U.S. evangelicals and private security contractors. You know, we have our people there on the ground to help with aid and stuff. Meaning Mike Huckabee and Mike Huckabee and Blackwater? Okay, I got it. They're there to hand out distribute aid, you know? And I'm sure people seen the videos of like just hundreds of Gazans like pushed up against fences trying to get to aid. All these guys stand back, giggling while recording on their phones. Those would be your security contractors. You know, like U.S. security contractors. Its current CEO is an evangelical leader close to U.S. President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. So, aka, they're all in on the let's destroy these people thing. They're all in on it. Let's just be honest. Once again, if Trump makes a peace deal tomorrow and says, all right, ceasefire, I now deem there to be a Palestinian state. All right, it's going to be for Palestinians and Palestinians only. They're going to be recognized by you. And if he does every little thing that all these lefty guys are screaming for, right? Guess what? This still happened first. This still happened first. Now, if you're okay with that, I say you and me are not on the same level, bro. Like, yes, I'm sitting on my high horse. Pause. Catch up, or like it's whatever. Like you're not on my level. Like it is what it is. If he makes a peace deal tomorrow and you forget about the thousands upon thousands that are dead, that he has dished money out for, gave weaponry for, allowed Israel to break ceasefires for. Right? He said in regards to Iran, what did he say? Israel, you better not break that ceasefire. You better not do it. But in Gaza, it's like, who cares about them? Right? Maybe because they don't have missiles that can hit U.S. bases. Maybe that's why. Maybe. So, once again, I'm going to say it. Do not forget this shit. Do not forget this shit and what this orange fucking penguin, this little devil worshiper, is complicit in. Don't let him smile on TV and trick you. The deeds have been done already. Now, if he got on TV and said, I fucked up, I apologize, here's the crimes I committed, or the crimes I took part in, now we're talking a different story. Now I'm like, oh shit, alright. Now we need to protect him. Because people are going to want to rip his head off. But we need to protect him in those moments so that he can express this newfound righteousness. But until then, he's just a little devil worshiper, as far as I understand, who spreads malice across the world and then hides his hands when someone calls him out on it. Which is the squirmiest, squeamiest, dweebiest little C-word shit on the fucking planet, isn't it? Throws a rock at your wife, then hides behind security guards. Yeah, I did it. What's up? Meanwhile, he has no intention of being any type of conflict with anyone. He wants his guards to do it for him. Yeah, take care of him. He's going to try to fight me now. I got brittle hands. I can't do that. But don't worry. He knows he's duped so many people that he'll have some dumb fuck from all over the country that will just jump in front of bullets for him as he contributes to massacring children and actually massacring children himself. We've seen what's happened in Yemen. We see what's happening in Somalia. We've seen his first 4 years and the amount of drone strikes. His first operation killed a fucking 9-year-old. Like, we know this. All right? He's a child killer. He's clear as day. Anyways. What was this for again? Okay. The Gazan Humanitarian Foundation operates 4 food distribution sites, 3 in southern Gaza and 1 in the center, known in the IDF as Rapid Distribution Centers. MOPISM, that's language thing. They are staffed by American and Palestinian workers and secured by the IDF from a distance of several hundred meters. Okay, so they're like several football fields away. Thousands, and at times tens of thousands, of Gazans arrive daily to collect food from these sites. Contrary to the Foundation's initial promises, distribution is chaotic with crowds rushing the piles of boxes. Since the rapid distribution centers opened, Haaretz has counted 19 shooting incidences near them. While the shooters' identities are not always clear, the IDF does not permit armed individuals in these humanitarian zones without its knowledge, meaning the IDF, the higher apparatus, knows exactly who's going in and out of there. Thus, they could actually full-blown investigate it. I guess we'll find out if they actually do. Until then, just like in America, the journalist has to find it first, and then they're like, oh, fuck, all right, well, we'll look into it. Jeffrey who? Jeffrey Epstein. Who the fuck is that? I have no idea who that is. 2 weeks later, when everyone's screaming about it, yeah, I vow to take down Epstein. I vow to take down the human trafficking of the Epstein thing. Right? You know, like, shouldn't you guys be the first ones to find out about this shit? Shouldn't you be the first ones? Oh, okay. Got it. Once again, should be very telling. And also the story with the medics, right? The 15 medics that were killed and then thrown into shallow graves along with their ambulances thrown into shallow graves. And then it took journalists to point out everything to where like, all right, fine, something happened there. We fired the guy who did it. He got fired, okay, guys? Case closed. We can move on with our lives. The distribution centers typically open for just if it's thousands or tens of thousands, 1 hour. The distribution centers typically open for just 1 hour each morning for thousands or tens of thousands of people for their last, like, some of their last remaining food sources. According to officers and soldiers who served in their areas, the IDF fires at people who arrive before opening hours to prevent them from approaching, or again after the centers close, to disperse them. So if you're there too early, once again, it's an hour. You get an hour, right, to try to get online and get some fucking food for yourself and your family. And there's thousands of people. Now, most thinking people, just dumb guy logic, just simple ass thinking, common sense, like, all right, I'll get there early because there's going to be thousands of people here, so let me get there early. If you're there early, they start shooting at you. And if you're like, damn, I got here late, but I'm desperate, I'll wait online, I don't care if I got to wait hours. Well, that 1 hour time limit has passed. If you're still there, we shoot at you for being here for too long. I mean, talk about making it, like, impossible for people. I wouldn't be surprised if the higher-ups want them to turn on each other and start trying to stab and kill and whatever the fuck to rip food out of each other's hands. I'm sure there's grown men that have taken shit from little kids just to get fucking food for their own kids. because shit like that can happen. Not saying it has happened. I'm saying that would not surprise me at all. I mean, you want to talk about devil worshipping shit? There's a reason why I fucking say it. There's a reason why I say that. There is no excuse for any of that. No excuse. Zero. The UN even said, like, oh, we have a way to do this to where Hamas will not get their hands on it. Hold them to it. Make them explain themselves. Instead, they're like, nah, we'll do it. We'll do it, and fuckface will take credit for it and say, look what we're doing. We're giving out food and aid to these poor starving people. But it's not working out because Hamas keeps stealing the food. Dummies. Fucking dummies. So yeah, let me read that again, just so it's understood. According to officers and soldiers who served in their areas, the IDF fires at people who arrive before opening hours to prevent them from approaching, or again after the centers close to disperse them. Since some of the shooting incidents occurred at night ahead of the opening, it's possible that some civilians couldn't see the boundaries of the designated area. Meaning they may which is some of the early stories we saw of this, right? People went off range or out of the condensed area that they were allowed to be in and got shot and killed for that. Because they might have been Hamas. We don't know what they were doing. They could have been attacking us. It could have been Hamas. Don't worry, Johnny. Just shoot and kill. You won't get in trouble for it. Just do it. Just do it. Maybe they will. Who knows? But it's a killing field, one soldier said. Where I was stationed, between 1 and 5 people were killed every day. 1 and 5 people were killed every day. Just where this guy was stationed. Or girl, whoever it was. I mean, if you follow antiwar.com, you're seeing 70-something, 80-something, 100-something, 50-something, 40-something, 80-something, 70-something, a day. Granted, they're counting not just at the food sites, but also the bombings that are happening there as well. You've probably heard of the stories of people afraid to go over, it's like you die or you die. You die trying to get food, or you risk dying trying to get food, or you risk dying starving without food. They're treated like a hostile force. No crowd control measures, no tear gas, just live fire with everything imaginable. Heavy machine guns, grenade launchers, mortars. Then, once the center opens, the shooting stops, and they know they can approach. Our form of communication is gunfire. Wait till you read this fucking part. Wait till you read this fucking part. This is crazy. The soldier added, "We open fire early in the morning if someone tries to get in line from a few hundred meters away. And sometimes we just charge at them from close range, but there's no danger to the forces," according to him. I'm not aware of a single instance of return fire. There's no enemy, no weapons. He also said the activity in his area of service is referred to as Operation Salted Fish, the name of the Israeli version of the children's game Red Light, Green Light. That blew my mind when I read that part. Ironically, with Squid Game coming out, new season out now. Imagine the real version. It's and the idea, this is another big statement. This one also was a big statement to me. The communication is gunfire. Probably no warnings, just in a way. There's probably people yelling and stuff, but it's straight up. When we're shooting, don't come around here. When we're not, okay, you're good. But you don't really know when we're gonna start shooting or not. Possibly. I'll read this portion. There's more down here. But I will leave that for the rest of you to read on your own. There's a lot to it, and it's blatant criminal behavior. Let's just be honest. Fuck laws. I mean criminal in the real sense of like this is wrong. This is wrong. IDF officers told Haaretz that the army does not allow the public in Israel or abroad to see footage of what takes place around the food distribution sites. Although we've seen footage. If you've seen, like, people have been getting recordings. Sometimes people laughing on camera. According to them, the army is satisfied that the GHF's operations have prevented a total collapse of international legitimacy for continuing the war. They believe the IDF has managed to turn Gaza into a backyard, especially since the war with Iran began. Meaning, the PR moved. The PR move worked. And this guy is continuing the PR move, saying, yeah, we're doing everything we can. We got Americans over there. They're distributing food. Like it's some sort of like people with smile on their faces saying, oh my God, thank you, American, for giving me some food. Thank you so much. You're such a good person. Meanwhile, they're observing that. And is anyone reporting that? Are there American contractors saying, yo, these guys are doing some fucked up shit over here? I mean, if they're just strictly, what'd they call them? Where's this whole GHF thing? The circumstances of the foundation's establishment and its funding are murky. It is known to have been set up by Israel in coordination with U.S. evangelicals, who are all gun-ho for wiping out Gazans. Let's just be honest. Gazans and just Palestinians in general. They want the land given to Israel so that they can tempt Iran into nuking some fucking building, and Jesus will come back, or I guess the Antichrist comes back first, and then Jesus will follow that and destroy the Antichrist. Like they have, like, I kid you not, that is an actual ideology, and one of these guys are ambassadors to fucking Israel. His name's Mike fucking Huckabee. Now, people that I looked into back in the day, in the like mid to late 2000s, when I first started getting into this stuff, that was being heavily pointed out. Heavily pointed out. By, in my opinion, like the real motherfuckers. Not so much, like these new atheist guys. They focus more on jihadis is what they call them. Like these jihadis are out there. They're the main danger of the world. You want to know why? Because they compartmentalize their brain to see guys in rags with AKs as like, oh, that's not an army, that's terrorists. And guys in U.S. Army soldier outfits as, oh, those are just military guys. Their massacres are legitimate. The other guys are illegitimate. When the other guys do it, it's terrorism. When these guys do it, it's okay. And no, it's not me shitting on all the soldiers and shit like that. It's the leadership that does these things. And then the little talking heads on your TV that legitimize one and delegitimize the other. For me, I delegitimize both of them. That's my philosophy. My morality would not allow me to like walk in their direction at all. But at the very least, just be logically consistent. If you're okay with the U.S. doing this, this, and that, if you're okay with Israel doing this, this, or that, then you have to be okay with what they're doing. It actually makes sense logically. Maybe not morally, but logically. Duh. But this is what we do in this world. It's like these dumb fucks that come on my channel. Like, oh my God, the black, what did you say? Black violent crimes in America. Look at these, 5,000 a year. Look at this. Like, have you seen what the U.S. government does around the world? Domestically and around the world. You know what these motherfuckers do? But in their world, because they're so heavily conditioned, they legitimize it and say, that's legit, that's okay. Because the same fucks that are committing a crime wrote the rules in the first place. They're allowed to just do it. when we had these War Powers Acts where you have just, you know, what's it called, like the authorization use of military force and all that shit, right? Like, oh, I'm authorized to do this. I'm authorized to commit these crimes. But in reality, it's like, does that make that okay then? Because a bunch of dumb fucks and devil worshippers legitimize your torture of the rest of the world. Another reason why I call them devil worshippers. Because, in fact, these motherfuckers will use God. They will use God for their own means. These fucks will use God for their own fucking means. You don't even have to believe in God to understand my idea of devil worshippers. Because they will abuse what, like, if you have the regular church going person and what they think of what God means, like, oh, that means like love and compassion and care for us because we're God's children and all that stuff. Versus these motherfuckers, like, God said, smite that motherfucker, get him. Like, whoa. Are you sure you're not on the other team, guys? You sure you didn't read that? Read that wrong. Interesting, huh? Anyways, but yeah, there's another word. The evangelicals that are. Its current CEO is an evangelical leader close to U.S. President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. So it's not only one of these kind of psycho devil worshipping wannabe Christians. Not only is it that, but it's also they have political power too, and they're the ones that are going to look over humanitarian aid. Interesting, huh? And then as the IDF is mowing down Palestinians, these guys aren't going to report because God wouldn't want that. those they're on the wrong side of history. Even though there's Christians in Gaza and in the West Bank, there's Christians there too. There's Jewish people there too. Which means if these guys are actually some sort of real, true believers of this religion, guess what? These names right here, Trump, Netanyahu, and maybe even this CEO guy, does not actually give a fuck about God or any of that shit. They'll just use it to use you. Because you're malleable. You're easily moved. You're gullible. You're dumb. You're brainwashed. Whatever the situation is. If you are happy and engaged in any shit like this, I have no other words for you. What do I call you? If you're aware of what's happening here, how could I call you well-meaning? That would require a healthy dose, like a healthy epistemological questioning. You would need a lot of it. Like, so what? They're demons? These guys are demons? They're all demons, so that's why it's okay to kill them. And usually, the brainwashed devil worship guy won't say anything about how what they'll do is they'll essentially say, "Oh, these guys look like they were dangerous. I saw a gun or saw a weapon or." They'll find, even if they're not even there to witness it, they'll make up an excuse to say, like, well, these guys deserved it somehow. Or they'll say, oh, Hamas, that's why. People are on, people are already like little scattered and little scatterbrained because Hamas is all over the place and you don't want to die to Hamas, so you got to just shoot first and then find out if it's Hamas later. It's justified, see? See, if Hamas didn't exist, this wouldn't be happening. See, it's their fault. That is where we're at, people, in society. Now, I'm considering rolling down more of these stories, but I might. Should I just keep going? Maybe I keep going. Because I was going to go into Iran now. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. Roll into Iran. Here we have Lindsey Graham. And we've heard the story about the kind of we don't really have a confirmed anything in regards to the U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. We don't know exactly. we already know Trump lied. He just lied in this video already. He already lied here. Like, so we're aware that guy can lie. He's lied in other cases. He mentioned cutting the military budget in half, then didn't do it. He mentioned that he called Zelensky a dictator, but then said no, I didn't. On and on and so forth. The guy either has just horrendous memory or he lies a lot. One or the other. So we don't really know what's going on in that situation. And especially with this question, because it was brought up during the Hegseth little press conference thing, and I think he got asked it twice. He didn't answer it each time. He just said, "Oh, we're working on it. We're looking into it. Don't worry about it. We're looking into it." Like, well, that's a fucking major question to be answered, because you guys are saying we defeated them. It's over. We won. We're out. Meanwhile, people are saying, well, what if they rolled away with fucking enriched uranium? As you're about to hear right here, let's just hear it real fast.
Here's where we're at. The program was obliterated at those 3 sites, but they still have ambitions. I don't know where the 900 pounds of highly enriched uranium exists, but it wasn't part of the target set.
Are you concerned that
Now, that's him after the briefings, right? And once again, I think Lindsey Graham is saying that because he wants to go to more war with Iran, right? I think that's his reason for bringing this up. He wants us to. He's like, well, they still got more. Let's go get them. We shouldn't stop fighting. Let's keep going at them. Because he's been a chicken hawk apparently his whole political career, and a weak little man, and a devil worshiper his whole fucking career. But I'm just saying, this is not only heard from Lindsey Graham. It's just showcasing, like, okay, someone that's a part of an actual briefing on the Iranian strikes, saying, well, we didn't hit the fucking enriched uranium, which they still have. So what do you do with that? Considering the way you deal with diplomacy, Trump administration, like considering the way you dealt with it right there, and by just bombing Iran. What do you do now? Do you bomb them again? Like, what do you do? Well,
if the intelligence reports conclude that Iran can enrich uranium to a level that concerns you, would you consider bombing the country again?
Without question, absolutely.
And have you had any?
And that's kind of all you need, huh? That's kind of all you need. Meaning, once again, this is why I was calling the ceasefire bullshit in the first place. Because I'm like, well, what was reached? What agreement did you come to? I don't even see any sense of agreement. He's just saying, yeah, we blew up their facility, so it's over now, and we're done. We have no reason to fight them anymore, or anything like that. Meanwhile, it's like, well, what if they just start enriching again? We'll do it again. We'll hit them again. I mean, like, because the options are just running low right now. Let's say they have enriched uranium, and they maybe want to ship it out to other places to protect it, or put it in secret facilities they got, or whatever the fuck. Or maybe they still have more facilities where they can enrich more. What then? What do you do then? His option was to just bomb them. Just bomb the facility again. And it's like, you don't think that's gonna... Oh my god. What stops Israel from just doing it? I mean... Right? And once again, I feel like I need to say this 10 bajillion times. Not because I think my regular audience people don't know this, but just in case someone shows up brand new and has no fucking clue about any of this shit. The idea is, God damn it, I forgot my point. Fuck. Like the enrichment thing, right? Oh, okay. What deal could they come to? Let's say Iran threatens to enrich again. What deal could Trump make to avoid bombing them? What deal could he make? Like, actually. Is he gonna... Alright, guys. Other than bomb... Like, let's say he wants to do pure diplomacy, become king deal maker, like everyone knows he is, right? The king deal maker. What would the deal be? And you're going to feel stupid once you realize the options here. once again, one is either Iran agrees to not enrich anymore, and then they, I guess, have enriched uranium imported into their country, which sounds like a very bad idea considering the actors that are around them, uh, the people that want to make deals, like the people that are going to make deals with them in regards to that. Unless maybe it's Russia or something, or China maybe, like an ally of theirs. But if it's an agreement with the U.S. and the U.S. is like, well, you got to do it this way, otherwise Russia might ship you a bomb or China might ship you a bomb. We don't want that. So we're going to be the ones, or whoever our people we choose, we're going to let them bring it in, bring in the enriched uranium. And it's like, you're kind of just giving up your sovereignty right there. Like, once again, if you've heard of Confessions of an Economic Hitman, you can see where the subversions are, and I guarantee you there are people in Iran that know about that playbook from the U.S. I'm just saying. Or you have the other scenario where the U.S. agrees to allow Iran to enrich at civilian levels as long as they have oversight over it. Well, guess what? That's the JCPOA. That's the Obama deal. That's the Obama-Iran nuclear deal. It's the same fucking thing. Meaning, you did all this shit with all these people dying for no fucking reason. No fucking reason. And that would be a scary prospect. Once again, if you dum-dums out there, I'm sorry, some of these Trump fans are just fucking lost. They are lost. They are bots. They are playing Call of Duty for the first time and they got no thumbs. These fools can't move, they can't shoot, they can't dive, they can't slide cancel, they can't bunny hop, they can't shoulder corners. They are trash. They walk out in the open, slow as shit, no tack sprint, just out in the open, just waiting to get shit on by some fucking sweat. If you play games, you know my lingo right now. They're just bots out in the open field getting shit on. I mean, that's the way this guy treats you, people. Just so you realize, like, he treats you that way. Like, you're dumb. Look, I'll do this simple ass thing and it works on them. And it fucking works on a lot of people. I mean, probably the biggest contributor is less so much Trump and more so the influencers that try to push people in favor of Trump. That seem like, oh my God, these guys seem genuine and they seem nice and I hang out in their chat and they're really nice people. They accept my donations every day. And it's like, yeah, you're a bot getting abused by some of these sweatier players. I mean, they're trash. They're trash, but they're, they're VPNing to play in bot lobbies. If you play games, you know what I'm saying right now. It's a secret language. We know. Trust me, we know. Anyways, so, yeah, this is a fuck scenario. Considering this, where this guy came from a hearing saying Iran still has enriched uranium, which is the whole point, the whole thing they were trying to stop them from doing, right? Him saying, yeah, I'll bomb again, why not? Maybe it's the art of the deal. He's just saying that to do politics or to make a deal to pressure them into going into a deal, but it's like, you did all that shit before and you ended up bombing them anyways, so like, what? What point? I don't get it. But anyways, let's keep it moving here. As you can see, we have a statement from Donald Trump on the truth from Truth Social.
Hold on. You gotta tell him the truth. He bombed Iran to save Gaza.
Oh, word. Got it.
Because that's the cheat code for his version of Call of Duty.
All right. He's gonna save Gaza. Lovely. Well, someone tell him this stuff's happening here. Someone tell him this is happening. He'll figure it out one day. Anyways, here's this Truth Social talking about the Ayatollah of rock and roll, Ali Khamenei. Why would the so-called supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei of the war-torn country of Iran, war-torn country, say so blatantly and foolishly that he won the war with Israel when he knows his statement is a lie? Like, why do you care? Why do you care? I thought you know you won, or you know you made the peace deal of the century, and you're making peace in the Middle East. Why the fuck do you care if he says he won? Does it matter to you? Anyways, it is not so. As a man of great faith, he is not supposed to lie. His country was decimated. 3 evil nuclear sites were obliterated. Does this sound like we have a ceasefire thing going on? Does this actually sound like that? And I knew exactly where he was sheltered. Did you? And would not let Israel or the U.S. armed forces, just remember that part. He knows exactly where he was. And would not let Israel or the U.S. armed forces, by far the greatest and most powerful in the world, terminate his life. I saved him from an ugly and ignominious death. And he does not have to say, thank you, President Trump. In fact, in the final act of the war, I demanded that Israel bring back a very large group of planes which were headed directly to Tehran looking for a big day, perhaps the final knockout. Tremendous... fuck. I was doing PR for Israel, too. Tremendous damage would have ensued, and many Iranians would have been killed. It was going to be the biggest attack of the war, by far. During the last few days, I was working on the possible removal of sanctions and other things, which would have given a much better chance to Iran and at a full, fast, and complete recovery. The sanctions are biting. Pause. But no, instead I get hit with a statement of anger, hatred, and disgust, and immediately dropped all work on sanction relief and more. So this guy talks shit to you, and you're like, all right, fuck it, we'll leave the sanctions on. Because he said they won. Iran had, like, can you imagine that? Someone said they won. It's like, all right, that's it. Keep the sanctions on. Or maybe he just used that as an excuse to keep the war going. Like, sanctions are an act of war. Let's just be honest, right?
Admit you were defeated. We blew up the nuclear places.
You're going to love this lingo, Depster, actually. Watch this. Iran has to get back into the world order. You like that?
What?
Iran has to get back into the world order. The world and the order are Can you hear me?
Yeah. Flow is the next word?
Yes. But you see how the world and order are in capital letters? That's kind of weird,
Yeah.
right? It's a little weird.
No.
Iran has to get back into the world order. World order flow, or things will get worse for them. They are always so angry, hostile, and unhappy. And look out what it has gotten them. A burned out, blown up country with no future, a decimated military, a horrible economy, and death all around them. Like, this is weird, bro. These are like the writings of a madman, right? But I understand this for theatrical effect. It's just like, who's writing this for him? Because I don't think he writes these things. I think it's someone else that writes them.
A war speech. It's a war speech. It's not a peace speech. It's a war speech.
Yeah, it's just like, it still comes off as like unhinged and like kind of psychopathic. Because the whole thing is binging on some guy saying, yeah, we won. No, you didn't. Tommy, get on my phone right now and write what I say. You're a big meanie pants. You're a meanie pants. And no one likes you, okay? Teresa will never date you. She loves
but
me.
We have peace. I flicked you in the nose. Now declare peace, or I will annihilate you entirely.
They have no hope, and it will only get worse. I wish the leadership of Iran would realize that you often get more with honey than you do with vinegar. Peace. Also, pause. Give me some of that honey from Iran. Yeah. You should have said peace out. That'd be hilarious. But, okay.
It makes me... Okay.
No, go ahead, because I'm going to transfer to the next clip. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to do an analogy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you heard? Have you heard of the Karate Kid conspiracy theory, where the good guy was actually the bad guy?
No, I've only heard of that from about Jar Jar Binks in Star Wars. But go ahead.
So the idea is, I forget what his name is, Lorenzo or whatever.
The main character, LaRusso.
Yeah, from the original one,
LaRusso.
LaRusso. So when he comes to a new school, he gets picked on, right, by Johnny.
Yeah.
No, actually, first thing happens is LaRusso like makes a fool of Johnny, and Johnny just responds.
Doesn't
And
he
then
like
he
hit on his
steals
girl?
Johnny's girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah,
And then he steals his girlfriend. And then Johnny responds. And it's just like there's 10 different fucking things to it. LaRusso's actually a bad guy. And he looks like the good guy if you're not, because you're trained to think he's the good guy through the movie.
Yeah, but
By all standards, he's actually the fucking bully.
listen, I hate LaRusso, but even he's too cool for this guy. I'm going Jar Jar Binks in Star Wars, where this bumbling, fool, corny ass character ends up being like some sort of Sith leader or something in the background. He's secretly working for the dark side. But he's this flip floppy
Well, no, that was blatant.
dipshit.
The LaRusso thing, it's blatant.
Trust me.
But people are trained to not see it.
Trust me. I'm going Jar Jar Binks. But yes, I agree with you. I agree with what you're saying. I'm just going Jar Jar Binks. That devious little Jamaican sounding flip floppy frog platypus thing, whatever the fuck he is. Misa Jar Jar, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Anyways.
At least that looked like it would have been a conspiracy, but the LaRusso thing is just flat out.
Yeah. Anyways, right here, this part right here, where it says, I knew exactly where he was. I knew exactly where he was sheltered, and would not let Israel or the U.S. Armed Forces terminate his life. All right. Then we go to this. This is from Tim Anderson. This is a guy I've heard of in regards to Syria coverage, but by no means just take his word for it or anything. But it says, Israel War Minister confesses on Israeli national TV that they wanted to assassinate Iranian leader Khamenei during the war, but they couldn't find him. They actually tried twice during the war, but they had bad intel. The reason Trump and Netanyahu said during war we don't want to do it is because they couldn't, despite trying via resistance trench. Once again, I can't prove, I can't confirm. I can definitely consider though. Do you consider that? I consider that based on all the lying we've seen, or it could be Iran lying or whoever lying.
Maybe saying "We see you, motherfucker" might inspire them to run or something. Then they could see him with all the spy shit. Maybe it was a trick to get them to move, so then they could see movement and put two and two together.
Possibly.
I don't know the answer. Or it could just be fucking bolstering like he does.
Yeah. I mean, this is apparently an Israeli war minister, right? So, I mean, yeah, it could be bullshit, but maybe he's thinking, oh, I'm only talking to my own people, right? So, it doesn't matter, like, whatever Trump says on Truth Social, none of those guys are going to hear this. Like, well, someone found it, and someone shared it. And speaking of this guy on the left here he is again. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz says Israel won't respect ceasefire. That's him, right? Am I tripping? I'm pretty sure that's him. Yeah. Says Israel won't respect ceasefire with Iran. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz says he has instructed the IDF to implement the Lebanon model in Iran where even after the ceasefire, the IDF will continue striking targets it sees as potential threats. Now, I saw some video footage of some sort of apartment building, or at least a room in a building on fire. Some people were claiming that Iranian leaders or scientists were killed there, which means it's a continuation of war, essentially, right? Here's the quote, allegedly. I directed the IDF to prepare an enforcement plan against Iran that includes maintaining Israel's air superiority, preventing nuclear advancement and missile production, and responses against Iran for supporting terrorist activities against the state of Israel. Thus, well, I mean, we already knew this, right, Dubster? Like, we knew that Israel's still looking to fuck with them, even if the idea is that Iran fucked them up so badly that they wanted to fall back a little bit, or maybe rearm a bit, or maybe collect themselves a bit. The idea is still that they're going to continue in some form or fashion, and it could be espionage hits, or it could be bombs. Who knows? Good.
I read this one article. I guess I didn't read the article. It just kind of like glimpsed at the title and then the summary. But it was Mossad agents were in Iran and they were leaving notes under doors for people in the Iranian government saying, I will kill your family if you don't become a Mossad agent yourself. Like, not being there, but like leaving them a phone number to call. So they'd slip on their door, leave the building. Leave the phone number on the piece of paper. It says, I'll kill your family if you don't work with Mossad.
Jesus Christ. And you ever see that movie, Munich? Where it's supposed to be about like the response after the '72 Olympics, where these, I think they were Palestinian guys, kidnapped some of the Olympic athletes for Israel, and then ended up killing them. After they took them hostage for a while, they killed them eventually. And then the after effect was Israelis like Mossad guys or whatever military guys. Mossad, basically, I think Mossad would like do all these weird espionage like kills of like people connected to it or planners and shit like that. And I'm like, they're basically showing you right there, like, yeah, all right, they can do espionage hits on motherfuckers, like straight up. Maybe that's the plan. And like you said, if it's the where's that, the Lebanon model, right? I mean, they're bombing, and they bombed today in Lebanon, but it's not like constant bombardment, right? Like what they were doing with Iran, where they're just trading back and forth, or what they were doing in Gaza for a while, right? Where it's like continuous bombing, shelling, bombing. I think they turned it down a bit there, but they're just still killing because people are so concentrated. They're still killing a shit ton of people every day. But it's like, once again, ceasefires, this idea of ceasefires means nothing unless it's actually a ceasefire, meaning where's the agreements at? Where's the actual agreements? What are the standards of this? Like, it just feels like it's nothing to me. It's like paper thin to me.
There's only one agreement, and it is regime change.
I think so. And if this fool uses a fucking social media post by the fucking Khamenei guy, if he uses that as a read, like, this is why we can't have peace over there, because this guy thinks he won. He didn't win, I won. We won. It's like, if that's his fucking excuse, I'm wrecked.
So here's the real thing. With all of these wars, it doesn't come down to bombing. It comes down to spies killing people. And it's just whatever timeline they decide that it's going to be for it to look like we won via military. Because they want to cover up the fact that they assassinate so many fucking people in the meantime. They don't want that to be realized.
Yeah.
So they want to finish it off or pace it with military.
I'm still on the Syria
But the
thing.
The real way they win is we have the most spies that are assassins, spy/assassin.
Or just
This is why
mercenaries.
Germany lost. This is why Germany really lost in World War II. Is we flooded them with spies.
I mean, I'm considering more of the Syria thing as the more like the funding. They've been selling that so hard. It just depends on, I guess, the discipline of Iranian civilians, right? If they're like, "Yo, who are you? Why are you in my neighborhood? Who are you?" Nah, we want one. We want nothing to do with you. Go away, or whatever, right? So, all right. Let's keep it moving. This is the last thing I have here. I was questioning whether or not I'd look at this, but I say fuck it. Let's do it. From Mint Press News, Israel's attack on Iran wasn't about the nuclear program and was decided in November. Around election, if I had to guess, possibly around election time. Like, all right, we'll do things this way. And let's be real. Was Trump in coordination with them when Israel first attacked Iran this year? Of course, right? Right? I don't think there's much disputing that at this point. Here we have Israel's former ambassador to the U.S., Michael Herzog, shares stunning admissions at a WINEP conference. He says Iran misread Israel totally, sharing that they'd failed to understand that post-October 7th, Israel is a totally different country. Let's hear him out. Here we go.
What we soon understood after October 7th that we are challenged not only by Hamas, but by the whole Iranian axis. And even though it wasn't coordinated with them tactically, they joined. And they were gradually drawn in until we found ourselves confronting Hezbollah, Iran, and the rest of the axis. And we understood that we cannot.
That alone, calling them the axis. I mean, they call themselves, what, the axis of resistance or some shit like that? But, like, that just has negative connotation to it already, right? Just the way it sounds, maybe from high school. Yeah, exactly. From, like, learning that shit in high school or whatever. Sound like the bad guys.
Axis of evil.
Yeah. All right, here we go. And it froze. What the fuck?
Understood after October
Whatever.
7th that we are challenged not only by Hamas, but by the whole Iranian axis. And even though it wasn't coordinated with them tactically, they joined. And they were gradually drawn in until we found ourselves confronting Hezbollah, Iran, and the rest of the axis. And we understood that we cannot finish that war without dealing with Iran and the Iranian axis. We cannot just finish the war by defeating Hamas. So after we basically degraded Hezbollah, deterred Iran, took action against the whole axis, even the Houthis, and after Syria collapsed, Israel fixed its gaze on Iran itself, the big prize, what's called the head of the snake, and in fact,
and that's why that was brought up, or that's why I brought that up about Iranian airspace, because that strategically was super important, and that was. I mean, I've heard that. Have I heard that before? That just seemed logically why the attack happened when it happened, because they needed that airspace in Syria. When Syria fell, that's when it's like, all right, we got the room now to do this shit. All right, there's no Assad that's going to shoot our shit out of the sky because they're allies with Iran. There's no intelligence from Syria that can point like, hey, Israeli jets are in our airspace. They're trying to move towards you. Like, right? That'd be almost unfeasible. And they'd probably get shot at before they even reach Iran, even. So, yeah, Syria had the fall, I think, in regards to all of this. But, all right, here we go.
Specific planning for the current campaign was started in November, after the last round with Iran and after Hezbollah was hit hard. And it was a new type of plan. It was a new concept, no longer pinpointed strikes on nuclear sites. It was a much broader, bigger campaign against the Iranian system to weaken it so that it'll be much more difficult for the system itself to reconstruct its strategic capabilities. Iran, I believe, misread Israel totally. Like Nasrallah, they failed to understand that post-October 7, Israel is a totally different country.
So that's okay. I assume that's how Mint Press is getting their timeline with this, right? It's after the fall of Syria, which just makes complete sense. And guess what? U.S. this fuckface working in tandem in regards to all of that. Let's be honest. I'm sure he went to Syria, made deals with the Al Qaeda leadership. You know, the guys he used to fund and all that stuff. They finally made it. They finally made it, man. They moved up in the world. They became the government of Syria. Talked to them, had some deals with them. Like, yo, listen, now we're good. Iran's they're open now. We can get to them now. But that was kind of supposed to be like a little bit of a bonus story. But either way, I just threw a lot of information out there. I'm trying to tie things together. And I think it's pretty obvious that you should not just fucking turn your brain off because this guy says, peace deal. We're going to make a peace deal. Turn your fucking brains off. Peace deal. Don't just fall for that shit, in my humble opinion.
Why'd you need a peace deal if you were the peacemaker?
I mean, like, if you thought about it logically, right? There's so many easy ways to deal with all these scenarios to where you don't need to subvert countries and bomb them. But yet, this is the route this guy takes over and over and over again. And the other administrations, same thing. Just saying, like they all continuation, like in a continuation of each other. Full blown war, like full blown warring, in countries that they don't fucking live in, and Americans don't find out about it, and they take advantage of your gullibility and your ignorance, and they use it against you to get you to cheer for malice, to cheer for the devil, essentially. I kid you not. I kid you not. You have been tricked, deceived, run amok, bamboozled. This is what these people do to you. And guess what? People say, yeah, give me more. Give me a couple more scoops of that shit. Yum. And it pisses me off. You know? It is what it is. But, alright. There's your video. Or do you want to you want to add anything, Dubster? Please go ahead. If you want to.
No, I
Otherwise, I'm
got
ending this shit.
nothing. I feel so betrayed. I'll just leave that out there. And it's okay to admit that I've been betrayed. A
No,
lot
there's
of
nothing
people
wrong
have
with that.
problem admitting, right? A lot of people have problem admitting when they get duped. I got duped.
I mean, in a way, I got duped too, in a way, a little bit. Not really. I mean, when he initially
he looks
won.
better than Kamala still, but
No,
on
he
this?
doesn't. No, he doesn't. They look the same. Actually,
on this, yeah, on this he looks the same.
I mean, in regard, like, on the surface, I'm telling you, the Democratic Party will do it in a business, like cold-hearted business style. Not some art of the deal thing, but like a cold-hearted corporate business person style. But I think you get the same results, essentially. I think. Same with Ukraine, Russia. I think you get kind of the same results. I'm just saying. But, like I said, I'm not going to say I got duped, but in the first time he ran, I absolutely understood why people supported him. I mean, he was saying shit politicians were not saying before, right? Especially, like, the WikiLeaks thing was remember the October surprise against Hillary Clinton? Mm-hmm. And all the email drops and the Podesta emails and all that stuff? It was like, holy shit. And then this guy... What's up?
Then he turned on Julian.
Well, I found out that he was never on Julian Assange's side. He said it in the, not even on air. He said it in the behind the scenes on Fox News before he went out to do an interview. He said, "Yeah, give him the death penalty. He deserves a death penalty." He was saying that in the back. Like I was already aware in regards to that somewhat, but like just hearing the idea of the WikiLeaks stuff, right? People never heard that out loud like that. So I understood. I'm not gonna say I was duped, but I understood, and I'm like, oh, maybe this guy is for real. Maybe he's legit. Who knows? I left room for possibilities. But after a while, I'm like, okay, that's it. IQ test. He failed it. This is not the guy. But somehow that shit carried on for years, and now we're here, and people are still dick riding this motherfucker. But it is what it is. You know.
Hey, it was a stolen election. It was a stolen election.
Yeah, but couldn't that be an excuse to boost his popularity? Just like people saying that the assassination attempt was like a false, like quasi false flag thing, or oh, that was fake, that was bullshit to get him elected again.
I'm saying it's another thing that supported the duping of people. We can't have a stolen election. That's just wrong. So therefore, he was wrong. So therefore, everything he says is right, and everything the other side says is wrong.
What the fuck? You just Terrence Howard me? What the fuck did you just say?
That was completely clear, but you guys
whatever.
take it slowly.
Got it. Chutes and ladders, got it. But aren't a lot of the Trump fans the conspiracy guys, right? Wouldn't they be the ones to be like, yo, it's a fake assassination to boost his credibility so that people vote for him? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I considered that instantly. I know a lot of other people are like, no, the DNC hired Brooks.
Well,
and I'm talking about the first one.
Yeah. I mean, Big Daddy conspiracy guy, Alex Jones.
I came in here and I said, he's totally won. And Sebs was in here like, it could have been, he staged it. It was like, yeah, but he still totally won because he's got everybody to think he's just been attempted assassination.
I mean, yeah, but I thought he won already before that. I was like, without even me really paying too much hardcore attention.
That sealed the deal, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, you would think a normal person would reflect on life that, you know, a head movement of a quarter of an inch, your life could have ended. You would think they'd start reassessing things, but nah, he's like, well, all right, you know what? Last lease on life. I could have died right there. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do all the neocon shit I possibly can do as fast as I can. Like I'll just aggressively do it because you know what? YOLO. You only live once, so let me do the most cunty shit I can, like as fast as I can. He's only a half year in, bro. He's a half year into a 4-year administration, dude. And he's like, let's get it all fucking done right now. Just in case they kill me, I need to make sure we go to war over here, go to war over there, bomb these guys.
Or in, what's next year? 2026, November? The Democrats could take power. Because these Republicans ain't doing shit, so they're unelectable for Republicans. Like, people won't show up for this.
Just in case an assassin...
So the 2026 to 2028, he might be impeached like 3 or 4 times.
Just in case an assassin gets me. Just in case an assassin tries to get me, I'm going to make sure I try to get Thomas Massie out before that happens. In case I get killed, let me try to get Thomas Massie out. Like, he's doing that shit. Like, I'm going to try to do the worst shit as fast as possible. Like, in case I get shot. Let me make sure I get rid of Thomas Massie, the one that all my fans love.
Well, some people think Some people think him electing Matt Gaetz to be the attorney general and knowing Matt Gaetz couldn't do it because of his bullshit, and then him
Pam Bondi.
retiring from his seat.
Yeah.
No, him retiring from his seat was actually a trick on Matt Gaetz. Some people think that.
I personally don't trust Matt Gaetz. I've heard him talk enough, and I'm like, this guy's either an idiot or he's a part of it. I've heard him talk enough for me. He can say, I don't like the way we deal with Israel. He can say that 10 million times if he fucking wants to. Hail Mary for him, say it 10 million times. It doesn't, I'm sorry, it's not enough for me. Not enough. Show me that you're moral.
Followed it up with, good thing we attacked Iran, right?
Was it, look at Trump's job. One hitter quitter. He got in, he got out. Boom, she's pregnant. Like, he's just like happy about that shit. Or like doing like kind of like PR shit for it. And it's like, yo, when does, like, if I don't hear you say fucking moral shit, bro, get the fuck out of my face. Because anyone can say these political talking point shit. Anyone can say that. Anyone.
Well,
plus he has a plastic face.
OAN.
He looks like a dweeb, too. He has a plastic face. I don't like the way he looks.
He went to OAN. If you followed Q and you believe that,
Why the
which
fuck
would
would
be
you
the
trust
right.
OAN, too? Why the fuck would I trust them?
Hold on. If you followed QAnon, you knew that OAN was paid $10 million by Hillary Clinton in 2016.
Were they really? I didn't even know that.
And they're supposed to be the right, or, like the right.
Yeah. Well, they're supposed to be like
But
the Bannon side of things. Tea Party.
Right.
One American News Network shit.
But in reality, they're sneaky like Fox News, but maybe not as sneaky and slipping in like propaganda and shit. Because that's their target audience is the rest of the conspiracy theories. Or the right that doesn't like Fox News.
Well, what do I hear these political guys say? Shifting or moving the Overton window to where it moves you a little bit closer to what I've heard you call rhinos, right? If I just move them a little bit, maybe not breakneck speed, but like a little bit, move them a little bit that way, then in a couple of years we can move them a little bit more. Then as years go by, the guys that were screaming about 9/11 are now talking about, well, we need to, take taxes off of corporations and, Iran's looking kind of scary over there. We need to take care of them. Like, all of a sudden they start sounding like neocons. Meanwhile, they were talking about 9/11 the whole fucking time before that.
The real Overton window is we've moved out the progressives from the conversation at all, and now it's a debate between the neocons and the Trump fanomatics.
Yeah. When you possibly could have had allies.
Is a neocon. Right. But no, the Overton window is basically shut down all progressive thought.
Well, it's actually weird because I remember the Trump argument was consistently because I want to talk about the idea of progressives. There was this idea of oh my God, the far left socialist communist thing where it's just saying 5 words to dismiss other people, not saying you should team up with AOC or Ilhan Omar or any of these motherfuckers. I'm saying, let's say there was a real version.
No, even they've shifted.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying
they're not talking about abortion anymore. They're not talking about tranny shit anymore. They're not talking about LGBT shit anymore.
I think they are. I think
DEI.
I think they are, but not the same way. Not the same way.
It's all stopped.
No, I think Kamala stopped. The Bidens stopped. Those aren't. You don't think those are considered the progressives, right? Those are neoliberals.
No, I said AOC. She's not talking about that stuff anymore.
No, she does. She just campaigned for the mayor of New York guys, Zoran Ramadami. Ramadami.
That is not abortion. That is not DEI.
Well, yeah,
it's kind of DEI.
That is, dude. It is. It's those same ideas.
It's just a candidate.
No, he's gonna win the mayor of New York, man, which is kind of a powerful position, even though it's just a mayor, but
already
it's
won
New
it.
York.
He already won it.
There you go.
Do you not know? He already won it. It's over. He's the new guy.
I thought he won the primary, and then
Oh,
maybe the Republican conceded
Okay.
already. I don't know.
oh,
I thought, or
might as well. Republican ain't wearing New York.
yeah, that's kind of, but maybe he just won already. I don't know. Point is, no, that guy has the similar ideas. My thing is like in politics is like finding the real ones, bro. People who really believe what the fuck they're saying, because like we need to start at kindergarten level. Do you believe this person believes what they're saying? That should be like at the forefront of every person's mind, not just what. Don't skip past that part and just go with what they say, because we see the orange penguin. We've seen the Barack Obamas who just say things out loud, but then when they actually get into positions of power, they fuck us over. So it's like, why aren't we looking for like, okay, let's find someone who actually means what they're saying first. Whatever structure that or whatever rubric that is, like just whatever qualities that means, like really try for that first. Don't just breeze past it because you like the way they dress or the way they look or the way they talk. Like really, like, do I believe this person? Do I believe them first and foremost? And if that's the case, I guarantee you there are people that are quote unquote progressives that actually mean well, that actually want to make the world a better place. Those are your actual teammates, not motherfuckers faking it out here. Because guess what? You can have an actual, real discussion about economics or foreign policy, or you can have a real discussion because the other person's being real too. But if they're just bullshitting you, then you get nothing and you go nowhere because you're not having a real discussion. There's no real debate there. It's just bullshit. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying in regards to like people that just took Trump's word for it. Like, oh my God, yeah, they're commie socialists, whatever the fuck. Like they're not. They might not even be that. To be honest with you, some of their voting policies don't even lean in that direction at all. People were saying that about Biden, that he was a commie socialist. Like what the fuck? Like Tim Pool, and they're like, oh, the far left Democrats, like Biden and Harris. Like what? It's like what? Like Obama. Like what? Like those guys don't even on the surface represent those ideas. So if you just dismiss them because you see a Democrat next to their name, that'd be weird. Like, why not try to find out if these people are legit or not? Because guess what? Maybe for different reasons, I would think someone like Massey and someone like Mike Gravel or Dennis Kucinich would agree on foreign policy. Like, yeah, we don't need to be in these wars. This is stupid. But then again, they seem like guys that are actually believable. Not full of shit. In my humble opinion. I can't say I know. Obviously, keep your eyes open. But, like, they seem like they're not full of shit. So maybe there's something there that, you know, to where you shouldn't be focused on, you know, libertarian versus progressive. Maybe it's just be like, what's a good idea? What do I, like, make it dumb. Make it kindergarten level. Get a piece of paper and write down, what do you think is a good idea? What do you think is a bad idea? What is the end result you want? You're like, okay, I don't want fucking wars. I don't want to send soldiers overseas to fight in wars. Maybe that's your end result. Okay, if you can argue with a legitimate person on the other side, then maybe you can have an actual discussion about how to do that. Maybe you'll take some of their ideas. Maybe you'll take some of your ideas if you're having a legit conversation. But if you're dealing with a fucking huckster, a fucking liar, a scammer, guess what? They will shout you out of the room like this guy would do. Oh, nope, you're a Hamas supporter. You're a Hamas supporter. We all know it. Meanwhile, I was like, wait a minute, I didn't even have like a real conversation with you, man. You dismissed me already. See what I'm getting at? Just regular people working together instead of like falling for dumb fucks like this guy. Like, this guy's fucking dumb, too. That's the thing about it. Not only is he corrupt, like, his actions are corrupt as shit, but he's also dumb as rocks. 100% dumb as rocks. Wait, did I say that? I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Like, we have you on record. hey Donald, we have these things called recording machines. We can like record you and like play it back for you if you want. You said this, and now you're saying something different. And the dumb fans out here excuse it and say it's strategy instead of being like, no, he's an old man who fucking lost. Fuck, I forgot I said that. I mean, I never said that. I never said that. Like, come on, you're not fucking fooling me, dude. That's some grand wizard plan, bro. It's a fucking dumb fuck who forgot what he said a week earlier. Let's be honest. It's a fucking old man who forgot what he said a couple days ago or whatever. It's an old man like, yo, Trump, just show these papers. It's good enough. Look at the evidence here. You see the evidence? Yeah, look at that. Well, actually, that was a picture of something else. No, it wasn't. You're lying. You're fake news. Right, just calls them a liar instead. Yo, Trump, those are photoshopped MS1 and 3 on that guy's hand. It's photoshopped to showcase what the symbols mean. No, you don't fucking see that? I see it right there. It says MS and 1 and 3. You don't see that? He was genuinely confused, I think. Where it's like, oh my god, this person is borderline senile. But the fans will excuse it. Right? Talk about like Biden gaffes. That was one of the biggest gaffes I've ever seen in politics. He thought this clearly Times Roman text font on a laminated picture. He thought that was the actual the fucking numbers and letters were not even aligned on the guy's knuckles. And what did Trump fans do? They explained it away and then forgot about it. Then tried to move on to something else. Because the point is to win. We need to defeat Biden. Duh. Instead of get to the fucking truth. Then again, who cares about the truth? Anyways, all right. There's your video. I'm done ranting. There's your video. Please subscribe if you like. Comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Is Trump for real? He's a peacemaker? Or are you looking into it? Because the more I look into it, the more sus things look. And once again, if he comes up with a peace deal, they're like, all right, all wars in the Middle East are now officially over. There's peace throughout the land. Ukraine, Russia, peace deal made. All peace all over the world. Angels are now floating down and doing dances on top of clouds and stuff. If that happened, I'd be like, yeah, but you still did this over here, though. You need to account for that. I don't mean jail time. I mean take personal accounting of it. Personal responsibility for your actions in regards to that. So once again, I don't care if he makes it rain gold. This fool has already blatantly been a part of horrible shit happening around the world and has done horrible shit around the world. Straight up. He needs to account for that. Otherwise, he's not fit to be a leader. Get the fuck out. Next in line. I'm sure JD will last a couple days. He'll fail to, most likely. Like, bye, JD. And keep going till you clear out the entire fucking government, bro. Straight up. You failed, you're out. Can we just get some fucking moms that bring, like, orange slices to the football game for the kids? They'll probably do better. Get someone's PTA conference, Those moms that just go to sewing classes together and have book clubs together would probably come up with a healthier idea of the world than these motherfuckers would. These dummies over here. I kid you not. But anyways, tell me in the comment section. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them, then donate. And with all that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in, and then you wanna get out. When you get the money to buy yourself a castle, how will you wear your leisure? You zipper back and front on the fence together. Weekends in the light.